W-A-G-E-W, we're all gonna eat well. Hey! Hey! W-A-G-E-W, we're all gonna eat well. I don't spin slots, I spin ref coins. I need real biz, no farm points. When cuts go, brr, that's my cue. Solana in seconds, that's just true. 1K OG seats, that's by design. No season 2, you just have one time. This isn't token casino roulette. This is margin on products you get. You want tails, go cope, you want CT and leave it. I want real business, big bands, I mean it. We're fish on a T to a unicorn stance. From the launch day to a billion advance. We don't beg for a pump, we build for a run, that's true. If YB was hope, wage you is food. Paid when the cuts go brrr. Who keeps faith when the seas get stirred? What's the code? We always yell. Where'd you? We're all gonna eat well. No more, catch that wave. Consumer free dipping every leg. Cargo ding and the split hits main. Solana and abstract on the frame. No more, ring that bell. Stack that spread, we print that sale. Hands up, friends, fill that swell. Where'd you? We're all gonna eat. With size. Ooh, the floor stays tight, no lies. Ooh, it's not hope, he miss flow. Ooh, no more rules, sit on chain, go. Bro said send it, I said I did. No mean run, just product led bid. No cheap shills, no airdrops in the routine. Rev coins, meta, you know what I mean. When cuts go, you'll see the tail. Num GMs when the product sell. Don't be poor man, let bags not blind. If you chase token casinos, you win a gym of mind. From a fish in the sea to a unicorn brand. Quarter on quarter, let the figures land. Partner is community cut in the fam. No sex, no MM, we scrap that scam. From GM to GN, I'm bass not loud. Solid profits with or without a crowd. If what means hope, wait, you is real. Revenue splits when the tails go drill. Moon isn't locked, moon is math. Inventory right and a repeat path. Cash my backs, buy back some flow. OG seats wide to the goods we grow. No more, catch that wave. Consumer fee dripping every lane. Cargo ding and the split hits main. Solana and the abstract on the frame. No more, ring that bell. Stack that spread, we print that sale. Hands up, friends, fill that swell. Where you were all gonna eat well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can hear me. Welcome to the Open Kitchen. And today, it's a very special one. You can maybe see the background just about. It's green, the letters are green, everything is green. And today is for a very good reason, because we are joined by the one and only Jemmy, lead exec and absolute legends from MONKE DAO. We're gonna bring you up in just 1 second. I first of all wanted to say hello to everybody who's already with us in the chat. The comments have been flying in from the very first second. We've got, of course, Chris in the chat from Switzerland. We've got Swissbook Mania. Salut from Paris. We've got also from Switzerland, Swissbook Explained. Charlie, Theo, of course, in the house. Guillaume. We've got James, who's bullish on monkeys. We've got Diego, who we just saw before from Spain. We've got a lot of people coming in already. Glad to have you all here. The numbers are going to keep going up. Welcome to each one of you. Sander, hello. Charlie, hello. Paul, how are you doing? Bring them in. Arch, nice to have you with us. As the comments come in, today is a very special show because we are essentially 2 weeks away from launching the beginning of Nomu, the first storefront e-commerce marketplace where you, as the consumer, can own the products that you buy and earn as those product sales. And we couldn't be more excited to do this with one, if not the single best community, at least my favorite piece in the entire Solana ecosystem. And that is, of course, none other than MONKE DAO. So without much further ado, let me bring up the one, the only, the legend. Jemmy, sir, how are you doing?
Hey everyone, very nice to be here. Thank you so much for making time. It's so nice to see everyone in the comments just going off. And today is actually Thanksgiving for many of our friends. And the fact that many of them still showed up is absolutely amazing. So thank you to each one of you. And of course, to our friends at Nomu for, being always so amazing. I think it says a lot, when the team is just all 100%, into this whole initiative and partnership that we are able to put together. You know what, Danny, I think you should take over because I'm afraid I may leak a little bit more alpha than what I'm allowed to today. Thank you for having me.
No, it's a pleasure to have you, man. I think we can only start one way, and that is by first of all wishing you happy birthday.
This is as old as go, quite literally. To all the Monkey Down members, they are literally the ones behind this funny little insider joke. But yes, Fridays are beautiful birthdays for fellow monkeys because of weekly town hall. So if you are curious around how to celebrate your birthdays, and if you also want to have 52 birthdays in a year, Monkey Down is the place to be.
Jamie, how old do you think you are by now?
Oh God, let's see. So what? 2021 August. How many Fridays are there? There's at least like 3 full years of Fridays, and wow, 4 full years of Fridays actually. That's a lot of Fridays.
Well, Jamie, let's start by, because this is a Nomu show, many of course, the whole monkey community knows exactly who you are. We've got Bipsy here sharing the love. Over the since we announced our partnership, which is exactly, I'd say 10 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, we already saw a great amount of Nomu community people buying Gen 3s. We saw a couple of monkey people coming in, buying Nomu OGs. Really been a beautiful mixed match of communities. I think there's a lot of philosophical and hard matters that unite us, which is, I think, the basis of any good relationship, whether it's professional or romantic or anything else. And I think it'd be worth for all of those that have not yet been familiarized with Monkey DAO, that just know you through partnership of Nomu, you could tell us in a couple minutes who you are, what Monkey DAO is all about, and how this beautiful story of ours started.
100%. Definitely. I think over the last week, indeed, we've seen a lot of friends from Nomu join us. So big shout out to each and every one of you, especially if you're live. Please send a comment so that we know who you are, so that we can send you that extra special love. Now, I just want to do a shameless plug. Every Friday at 12 p.m. EST, we do our Monkey Down Town Hall. Aside from running through the latest updates, we also have a special section that we reserve to welcome new monkeys. So if you just join us, especially more so from the Nomu community, we would love to get to meet you. So once again, thanks for having me. Just, maybe doing a quick dive in here. My name is Jamie. I'm one of the co-founders / lead exec of Monkey DAO. I've been very blessed and fortunate to be part of this amazing community that, we accidentally or incidentally started because we just wanted to create a community for people to belong. So Monkey DAO started, in August 2021 after the Solana monkey business minted. And at that point, Solana was a very nascent ecosystem by itself. There were maybe just like 1-2 other, projects, on Solana, across Solana. And NFT projects are not many. Like, I think aside from us, maybe there were like Solarians, but there wasn't really much opportunities to begin with. So this SMB, project drop, the NFT launch, then, a few of us started getting together and we were wondering, hey, how do we, create a place for people to belong where we can chat about the latest opportunity and whatnot. So I had this crazy idea, just like a super random. I was chatting with this guy that I randomly met online, and I'm like, hey, why don't we come together, create just a small little group and bring some of the most fun people that we know. Because I would spend like literally almost every single minute that I'm awake on the Discord, and I would meet a lot of people who are as crazy as I am. So, although now, the scope of what we do at Monkey DAO is a lot less degenerate, but our blood is very much in that, along that vein. So we started Monkey DAO just out of like, a small group of less than 10 people, just wanting to create a place for people to belong. And soon, the word pretty much got out there, and people started noticing, hey, these group of people who used to be very online, very active here, they basically stopped coming into the SMB Discord. What exactly happened? And so word got out, we increased that group from like 10 to 12 to 14 to 15 to 20, eventually got to 40. At that point, we were like, hey, it's not sustainable anymore, because all along, we've been admitting people based on a who knows who basis. So there was like literally no way for you to get involved unless you know somebody. But of course, it was really hard to prove that, you are a good people. And as, the group expand, it becomes really tricky to validate on a who knows who basis. So we went back to the drawing board and we asked ourselves what brought us together. How do we scale and grow this in a scalable fashion? So it didn't take us too long to realize that the one common thing that we had was the Solana Monkey Business NFT. And so with that, we started, what we now know as MonkeDAO. Everyone who has a monkey will be allowed to join us. And that was how MonkeDAO was born.
Boom, just like that. You really are one of the most OG. For those who haven't been around Solana, because many of the community from Nomu comes from Swissborg, and they've seen the whole up and down of crypto through the eyes of a centralized exchange. Back in 2021 and 2022 were rough times for Solana. So you guys pulled together, shown a resilience, and today flourishing among, I'd say, top 1, 2, like at least top 3 IPs on the ecosystem?
Fingers crossed. We're still, doing a lot of work to make sure that, we can be a globally recognizable brand, most importantly, which is why, what brought us to where we are today, and super excited to share a little bit more in a little bit as well. But I think one thing that we're really proud of is, despite the ups and downs across the ecosystem, we've been able to really aggregate individuals to come together and allowing us to build a platform that transcends above and beyond just, digital presence alone. Today, we have, I would say, arguably a relatively active user base of at least 1,000 members, while the verified users are like, up to 3,000, but I give a very conservative estimate of 30% of that in terms of members who are actually active, being approximately 1,000. And this 1,000 are very confidently almost 99% real users and spreading across the world. We have 25 different local chapters that come together very regularly, collectively providing a good touch base for people to build that collective sense of identity and pride.
In fact, as we speak, Matt, who is one of our lead devs, and David, they're all meeting up today in Paris. There's one of the meetups that's happening today. So if you happen to be in France today and you're not at the meetup, ask yourself why. Maybe you can still make it after the show. We're here today to talk about what brings the both of us together and what we are planning. I think that's really the alpha that everybody wants to hear about. We'll try and I'm also known, by the way, for saying far too much, far too soon. So I think it's a dangerous mix, both of us together here today. But we'll try and behave. We'll definitely clarify a lot of the things that are happening. We've been teasing. I've been called master teaser at least 5 times the last week, which is a new compliment I never gotten before. We've released some crazy videos, and I'm going to share my little screen here so we can better have a look at all of this. In fact, the notifications have been popping off like crazy today. This is us today. Right here. So for those who haven't seen this video yet, go watch it. It tells you a lot of the things already that you have to know about what is happening between MonkeDAO and Nomu. Before we start telling you what it is, maybe let's tell the story of how we come together. So I'll start from my side. When we did Nomu, we wanted, the whole idea of Nomu is thinking crypto right now, at least consumer crypto, is very speculation focused on token releases, launches, leverage on those assets, that kind of thing. And I always thought, like, I got orange pilled by Bitcoin and the Bitcoin standard. And I thought it's an amazing way of distributing ownership, financial rights, permissionless across the world. And that's really what got me. And it's very hard to build on top of that on the Bitcoin side. And the Solana side, I thought there was a crazy gap on which you can actually try and go back to the original cypherpunk, ethos, and build something that is slightly more than just speculation, like we've seen most recently. And that is something that MonkeDAO resonates with from the beginning, because you guys came along not because you thought that the floor price of the Monkey, of the SMB collection will go up and down. You came together as humans who wanted to congregate, meet, share, and grow together. And so we applied that ethos, and we said, okay, what's one of those markets that we can disrupt with Web3 technology of redistributing ownership and value to the people who created, and we apply this to e-commerce. We thought today in e-commerce, if you are a consumer, you get screwed in every single possible way. First of all, your data obviously gets farmed. It's used to sell you more stuff. You get none of that in return. And essentially, it's just a one-way street where you treat like an ATM, and they do everything possible to try and get as much money out of you on a continuous basis. It was Black Friday just now. It is the prime example of what's happening. But the truth is that as a consumer, you create so much value, specifically as an early consumer for new products. If you would not be there to buy those products, no matter how much marketing they do, like you are the one who bankrolls the marketing, you're the one who bankrolls the production. Your word of mouth is actually the most efficient marketing for any product. And so that amount of value is time to be recognized in a seamless way. Web2 tried to make this happen through Kickstarter, and that's kind of where crowdfunding comes into place. But crowdfunding never managed to materialize the last missing piece, which is redistribution of value. Crowdfunding was very good at collecting money, but it wasn't very good at giving value back to those who created the value, which is consumers. And so with Web3 today, as you can imagine, through wallets and Solana specifically, the stack, we can send money to anybody, anywhere, seamlessly. And so you collect those two ideas together, that's how Nomu was created, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. We kind of become the Kickstarter that actually allows you to share upside and the products that you're gonna buy. And we were looking for a while for who we're gonna launch this concept with. There's clearly, we've seen attempts like this before, we think there's a huge opportunity to make something dramatically better, and we wanted to find a partner that would allow us to showcase this in the best way possible. And we looked long and far across Solana, not too far away that I met Bipsy in Split, one thing led to another, and before we know it, you and I met in Singapore a couple of times. We talked about the idea of maybe you guys were trying to expanding your IP, which makes, in my sense, a lot of sense, but you're gonna tell us why. And so here we are. We're going to try and create value back to consumers, and you are enabling us to do it. And in the same time, we help you become a global brand that expands its IP beyond digital assets into something more. So from your perspective, Jamie, what's happening here?
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much, Daniel. Really appreciate the rundown. Indeed, I think for us as well, when I first heard about Nomu, I was initially also a little bit like, how do we do that? It's an amazingly grand vision, but most importantly, I think for us, wise, we have always been a little bit more skeptical because we always thought that for us as a team, we've seen how the past 4 years have been across Web3, and we think that what we've done over the last 1 year or 1.5 years especially, is to shift away from that speculative element progressively, such that while people will still speculate because that's human nature, but we don't want it to be the only reason why people have to come together. Only when floor prices go up, only when speculation is existent, then a community is alive. I don't think that's healthy, and neither do we as a team think that that should be the longer term goal at all. So very quickly, I think one of the key goal for us at that point was that, hey, we spent the last 18 months or so as the market took its own, maybe different variation of defining the NFTs era. We pretty much switch gears to completely focus on community and community alone. We've done an insane amount of work trying to build the foundation of community. For example, growing the local chapters, finding strong ambassadors who really resonate with the vision, starting out with a 10 chapter, 20 chapter, and then eventually growing the chapter to make sure that the chapters are existent, not just for the sake of existing, but also, most importantly, they are there with actual real engagement. So we believe that over the last 18 months or so, we've done a pretty decent, I don't say it's perfect because there's always room for improvement, but a fair bit of focus around growing real community. And now we feel that we are now ready to move towards the next phase. And so when we met Nomu, we thought it would be a natural progression there because you guys have exactly what we wanted. And I think what really convinced me was the meal that we had together, Daniel, in Singapore. It was just another scrappy place, just an average meal. Wasn't anything fanciful, but it was at that point when I realized, after sitting through and having a proper conversation with you, sharing with you that, hey, we've seen how Web3 has been speculative. We are now ready to enter a phase whereby we want to create something where everybody can recognize, the Monkey IP and something where our Monkey DAO members can be proud of. So do we really want is such that Monkey DAO can be entirely accessible to people, everyone? It's almost impossible to do so. But is it possible for us to create a brand that everybody, potentially recognize, where, example, if our family members or friends know that, oh shit, Daniel, you're part of Monkey DAO, you have this as your PFE, shit, this is so cool. I've seen some of the launch, some of the collection, etc. So that's kind of like the vision that we want to achieve, and that's, the direction of this IP. It's not so much of like creating speculation and whatnot, or like short-term hype, but really to create that one thing that our community can be proud of, knowing that it is going towards being a globally recognizable brand as well.
I think what you're saying here is music to the ears of all of the listeners of Nomu here. If people have come to Nomu, is because they also realize that this hyper speculative game, it's a short-term game that usually is a zero-sum game as well, and you can't really win it. The crypto is so much more than that, and the key phrase that you and I have used in the past that I really, really like is the biggest export of crypto is not tokens, but it is community. Crypto is what has allowed clients, users, whatever you want to call them, to become community members and actively participate, get rewarded, and be part of the ecosystem of an actual project and win, lose with it, whatever it is, but actually get that stake, that skin in the game. And that is something really, really beautiful. And a lot of Web2 brands, I think, will look at starting to try and get more this community growth mechanism, and Web3 enables that by design, via the tokenization of assets, distribution of assets, etc. So that's really what appealed to me as well. And when we first started to talk to each other, I tried to remember why I got my first Gen 3. And the feeling I had when I announced it on the Discord, and I got like a wave of 20 different people on X, on Discord, saying, hey, congrats, return to Monkey, reject humanity, the whole thing. And I felt welcomed. It opened doors of connections, of BD. We met amazing people through that. And if I can encapsulate, at least for me, what Monkey DAO is, it's this amazing network of people that you can meet in real life, that you can meet online, both, and together you grow. And in this crazy industry of ours, which is so overwhelming, where we spend 16 hours a day in front of a screen, oftentimes alone, in a room while the sun is shining and then going down again, doing that together with other human beings that first of all feel the pain and know the grind and are here and support you, it just makes it a completely different experience. That's what Monkey DAO gave me. It enriched my life in Web3 tremendously. And I think that's kind of the story that we're trying to carry through this IP launch as well. And hopefully through this IP launch, that's at least my hope with it, we'll be able to democratize this even further and bring new monkeys in, first via this whatever it is that we're bringing out. I was very close there of saying it as like via this object, and then through that learn the ethos, maybe even be able to recognize each other, because like, hey, you got one of those, I got one of those at the event, and from there create a beautiful story together. So I'm gonna let you take over here, because that was a very close call.
Yeah, no worries at all. Don't worry. I was like, okay, we are this close to it. But no worries, Daniel, you did super well. I think there's a lot of self-restraint that's happening right behind the scene there.
A lot of
But I think,
self-restraint.
just wanted to share a little bit here. I think what was really exciting to us that stood out was really the ability for us to switch on that support as well, or that sort of, ensuring that members of the community benefit from the launch itself. When we do something, it's great, the IP can be recognizable, the IP can be successful, but how do we make sure that the unit economics is embedded in such a way whereby everyone who's part of the collective can also benefit? I think that's exactly, one of the key component. I don't think we're allowed to say this yet, but, one thing that we have figured out, the nuance around it, is that if you are a Monkey DAO member, please don't cut this out and share this out just yet. But we will make sure that members will benefit from the success of the launch. That is our word out there. In terms of specifics, we will eventually announce it, but I think that's as far as I'm allowed to go today. So that's really one of the key reason why we decided that hey, Nomu has really built an interesting infrastructure, and the team is really incredibly talented. They pretty much turned out to the first meeting that we had saying, hey, this is exactly what we have built. This is how we can achieve it. And the second meeting, bam, in less than a week, we basically have a prototype there and say, hey, can you envision what if you do a launch like this and this mechanic? This is how it works. So that was really impressive. And that was when I realized, hey, if we want to do this, let's do this together long term, and let's make sure that our incentives align. And I know that there are some Monkey DAO community members here who's trying to play a poly market, on the keywords of like all jokes aside. But since he basically misspelled all jokes aside and he spelled it as all joking aside, that doesn't count. But this is for you. All right. Okay. So back to the key topic there. That was really where we realized, hey, we need to align the incentives because we want to make sure that we are in this for the long term, and we also want to make sure us as the ecosystem anchor can also play a critical role, not just for the Monkey DAO launch, but also thinking about what happens after. So this, pretty much brings us to, where we have the strategic tie-up, where we are able to align incentives with a shared vision, and so super excited to, sort of have Nomu part of the official Monkey DAO family network.
We're getting roasted in the comments, Jeremy.
I'm trying to be super careful with what we say because, Cersei and BC, they are here. And I know Matt and a couple of amazing folks from Nomu, they are watching us very closely. Like, please don't say the word. What alphabet is up to everybody to guess?
Let's give him some alpha, though. Let's give him some alpha. I think the alpha that we can disclose, and it's something that the whole community at Nomu has been wanting to know as well, is the deal that Nomu and Monkey DAO has struck. We indeed very happy to be able to supply the infrastructure in which community will win with the sale of this product. That's what everything we build around is how can we make it as seamless as possible that if you buy a product, if you're part of a community, if that product sells and the fact that you helped it succeed, you get a royalty or like a reward back that's liquid, that's actual money in as a return. Essentially Kickstarter with the upside, right? You guys enable us to bring this to life. So for us, it was a huge privilege to be able to do this with you. And with that, even more happy that you and I shook hands 2-3 weeks ago and did what I think is a landmark deal for both of us because it enables a couple of things for each party, in which Monkey DAO and Nomu are now long-term partners. I'm going to say the number out loud. Monkey DAO got 2% of stake in Nomu. So 2% of the total token allocation has been distributed to Monkey DAO. And this is now at least contractually restructured, I think like 4 or 5 year long deal. I can't remember, it's like a long thing. And what really fascinated me about your vision is not only, of course, are we the first to do this with you alongside Flojo, and I mean, they're amazing as well, what they're creating. If you haven't checked out Flojo, best drinks in the game on Web3, go have a look. But essentially, Flojo and Nomu are the first 2 companies that have struck this deal with you. And Monkey DAO, I see it as the next big incubator in Solana, and even a DAT potentially for projects rather than just Solana, but like Solana projects and new generation of builders, new generation of products that philosophically all align under an umbrella, which is not just hyper speculation, not just craziness, but actually real value, build over time, which is the same thing that Flojo does as well, and we align along that. What's your thoughts on that? Have I forgotten anything? Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, 100%. I see, there are some questions coming up asking us to reaffirm where exactly is the alpha. So indeed, you didn't hear it wrongly. Monkey DAO is very proud to share, publicly now that we have acquired a 2% strategic stake. Nomu is now an official portfolio company of MonkeDAO. As the ecosystem anchor, from MonkeDAO's perspective, we want to make sure that we can play an anchor role, a critical role, an instrumental role, most importantly, in helping to shape, some of the core infrastructures that we believe will continue to play a key part across the ecosystem. And Nomu having convinced us that, hey, they've built something special that could potentially, help to build an organic flywheel. And although, we hear these buzzwords a lot, I unfortunately still have to use it again. So please bear with me. They have indeed built something that is really impressive. And we thought, hey, if we want to do this successfully long term, it's best for us to get some skin in the game. And so, when we was sort of like briefly toying that idea, I was just chatting about it, with Daniel as a passing remark, and he was like, "Hey, you know what? That doesn't sound too crazy." So Danny was kind enough to entertain that sort of thought that we have. But we are really very excited to embark on this new chapter, because as exciting as it is for Nomu, it is also equally exciting for MonkeDAO, because MonkeDAO has been a huge, sort of home for community members, builders, founders, investors alike. But I think over the last 4 years or so, we have slowly started to shape ourselves towards the premier Web3 country club. So today, with the position of trying to put ourselves at the cornerstone of the ecosystem, it is super important for us to really start thinking about how do we then position ourselves strategically, to be that ecosystem anchor. And so with that strategic stake that we have, both in Nomu and Flojo, we are able to play a very instrumental and very active role for us to help shape the success of the teams alongside them across the long term. And the best part of every single MonkeDAO members is that this is not an ownership for like any of the team member. This is not an ownership for individuals. This is a MonkeDAO ownership. It literally goes on the balance sheet. So when you look at what MonkeDAO owns 2% of Nomu, X percentage of Flojo, because that's not announced. But Nomu was very kind to allow us to make this public, and so this is here we are. This is what got us here today. Very excited to have this number shared publicly.
Amen to that. And yeah, for us, it was, if I can just say from our perspective, why it was a relatively no-brainer. Again, one of the things I learned early on from Swissborg when I was there is that brains and skills are relatively easy to come across. There's many people that are very talented, many people that are incredibly smart. And as long as you're not a complete idiot, you most likely will be able to find some of them along your way and kind of partner up. What's really hard to find, and what you can't teach anybody, you can also teach them skills, by the way. Everybody can learn skills. What you can't teach, what's very hard to teach, is heart. And from the very first moment that I met Bipsy, I then met Cersei, I met Super Simon, which we saw across here on a screen a couple seconds ago, sharing his monkey tribe. We're going to talk about this in a second. When I met you, the kindness, the heart that you guys have, it immediately confirmed everything I need to know from a human perspective, that yes, this is the kind of partners that we want to have on board and that we want to grow this beautiful story with. I strongly believe that you need to win together with the people that share you love, that give you love. There's no point winning solo. So we have worked really hard at Nomu over the last 6 months to build everything up in a way that will lead up to now this launch and all the future launches after that. And the token launch, everything went, we did everything fair launch. There was no nonsense, no VCs, nothing. Everything was given back to the community from day one. And in this bear market, I think we're still one of the only assets that are up like a 5x from like a month ago, which is pretty crazy. And so we try and do things differently. And I really felt that the heart and the ethos, from the breakfast I had with Cersei to the lunch I had with you guys, the hugs that Bipsy gave me, everything just felt like home. And that's really where the magic is come through. So yeah, for me, it was a no-brainer. And I wish there'd be more people like you in this space, and hopefully we can be an example for them. That's my hope. And that many will copy us.
Thank you. And I hope, that same feeling that you had, from interacting with MonkeDAO can similarly be replicated and amplified, across everyone who stepped into, the doors of MonkeDAO as well. Indeed, I think we pride ourselves as being the home away from home. we believe that Monkey Out is the place that people can come and feel safe and belong to a collective community. And this is one of the reasons why we get as many experiences, environment that we have as much as possible, because it's easy to go and find a Discord to chat with people. You can go to Reddit and you do the same. But to find an environment, a safe environment where you can go there and hang out and just be yourself and network, find the right group of people with the right vibes, in a naturally curated process is not easy. And so that kind of like culture is something that we've been very, very blessed and very, very grateful for. And hopefully, that same feeling, that same lovely feeling that you got, Daniel, can be amplified into many, 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 many different folks.
Anyway, Jamie, I think we made them wait for half an hour now. I think it's time to go into the actual product launch, what it is, how it works. And I think there's no better way to start this than, I'm just going to quickly go my timeline here. By the way, hello to like the 300 plus people that are watching us. Super, super cool. Hello to each one of you. That's only on X. I'm not really sure how much it is on YouTube. I don't know if you can see my screen share here, but like it's about 300 and something. On YouTube, will be much more. So hello to each one of you guys. By the way, if this shouldn't be, I shouldn't need to say this, but if you guys are not in the chat, this is what's happening. The chat is where all the fun is. Listening to us is just like a side quest to be able to interact with all the amazing monkeys, and we're just blabbing about. Like, why would you not want to interact with Dipsy directly? She's in the chat right now. Or Swissbook Mania. These are like, that's where the magic is at. So go into the chat if you're not there on X or on YouTube. That's where the fun is at. Just a few minutes ago or hours ago, I'm going to go here in Super Simon, or here we got Jesus as well. You can see like all these images that have come across Twitter. It literally just invaded Twitter since the last 2-3 hours. It's pretty crazy.
I see that you paused there for a little moment when you saw something. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, this one is the rare one. So, okay, if you haven't understood yet, well, what do we know, Jenny? We know that we're going to launch something physical. It's
call it 4K. Call it 4K. That's how we call it.
Call it 4K. So let's go back to what we know. We know it's going to be a physical object. You're going to be able to feel it, to touch it, to bring it with you wherever you are in the world. We know that there's different types of this object. So we've seen there's a degen one, there's a builder one, and I stopped on the source one because the source one is the apex monkey, the alpha monkey.
It's the apex monkey.
Is the com path that moves the tribe forward when the path gets noisy. So if you haven't tried this out yet, there's this beautiful little website of ours that we just released a couple hours ago. Oh, I'm already in here with a wallet of mine. Let me quickly go into with another wallet. It's the monkey nomu.dev. If you're not there, go in it. You might need a referral code. If not, Jemmy, Cersei, they will be able to give you one. Or go on Twitter and just figure it out. It's not that hard, to be honest. There's a lot of them running around. I'm going to go maybe on, because I used my Soulflare one already and my Phantom one. Let me go my backpack one. Hopefully you guys shouldn't be able to see my wallet here as I type it in. If not, oh well.
Is that 24-word phrase?
So it's good because in this wallet, I happen to have an OG NFT, which is great because that gives me access immediately. But if I were to have a Gen 3 or Gen 2, that's also fine. If you keep your precious Gen 2s on a ledger and you don't want to go through the hustle of connecting a ledger, that's also fine. You can just enter referral code. Return to Monkey is one that you could use. From here on, I think we should do this together. We should do, let's answer these questions together, because here you'll find out a lot more about what we're going to release. This is Jemmy and Daniel together. We have a few questions here. Jemmy, let's answer this together. You wake up. An NFT just went 4x without you. What is your instinctive reaction? Do you A, reply GM Legends, and then when you close the computer, you go punch a wall? Do you buy the top and say, I'm dying to win on this hill? Do you sweep the floor because you know the airdrop announcement is coming? Or do you cope by asking what's the high beta on this?
I think let's try something different, maybe because the other answers, maybe we may have tried it. So let's sweep the floor. We know the airdrop announcement is coming.
All right, you know the alpha, okay? You are interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, so your entire timeline is going to Ballpoint in Abu Dhabi, but you make your wallet on October 10th. What do you do?
Are we the only non-bald people here as well? Like, I feel like everybody's shaving their heads off. We are wearing
Seems
hats,
like
but
it,
we
yeah.
didn't have to. We could
I
go.
just checked. Seems like it's there. Mark saved, mark saved.
All right. So should I answer this one?
Yes, please, yeah.
All right. So do I A, go live on Pump Fun and shave my head to crowdfund the trip? We came up with some of these answers at 2 a.m. by the way, on a crazy. Anyway, I think the answers were pretty funny. Ask your manager for paycheck advance and an extra PTO, and then get on that Scoot flight. For those who've never flown with Scoot because you're not in Asia, be thankful. I wouldn't recommend that. If you have to, go do it. But I had some of the roughest landings of my life on Scoot flights. I don't know if that's a shared experience. Take my grandma's early Christmas money in 550 long or stay home. You know what? I'm thinking I'm gonna go for the Scoot flight. Got no pain, no gain. All right, this is my favorite one. Jamie, you meet Tolly for.
You know what? Let's let the chat answer.
Let
You
the
meet
chat
Tony
answer.
at the
Yes,
urinals
absolutely.
of a side event. There are 5 urinals. He's at the second from the left. Where do you go? All right. Let's do this. It's gonna be a long one for you guys to help us, but we have urinal 5, maximum distance, respect the man. Urinal 3, directly next to him and cornered immediately. Start pitching him your celebrity meme coin launchpad. This sounds funny, but I swear this is actually real scenarios that probably has happened at some point. Now, Urinal 2, you stand behind him, phone on camera, and ask for a selfie as soon as he turns. I hope you are only taking his face and not something else. Good luck to you. You panic and stay by the door. As he dries his hand, he gives you a sympathy smile. You reply GM and you handshake his wrist. I'm feeling so, a little bit of the jitters just reading this out.
The
Okay.
handshake or the fist bump, that's a special one. It's this motion, by the way. If you haven't understood, like someone goes a fist bump and you come in with a hand. It's a beautiful thing. Happened to all of us.
It's crazy.
Wait, actually, we have a funny question here. Who's Tolly?
Oh, who is Tolly?
So
Who is Tolly?
Tolly is Anatoly, one of the founders, co-founders of Solana, and the most public face of Solana, I would say, and one of the smartest, brightest minds in the industry that actually made all of this happen. Yeah, that's Tolly. He's the face of Solana. Put it very.
Disrespect. Yes.
All right, let's quickly go. Chat. The chat is always 30 seconds behind from the live stream. So, but you have now another 30 seconds to put in. We're gonna do urinal 2. Is it urinal 5? Is it urinal 3? Or do you panic by the door? Cersei will panic by the door. Dipsy shook.
So Cyber Brother would go to urinal 5.
Yeah,
interesting.
We got a few people that are very respectful here. Very respectful.
Wow.
Max distance. To be fair, I think it is the ethos of Monkey DAO and Nomu to be respectful. We are not. I wouldn't take a picture of him. If it actually would be me, like genuinely, like jokes aside, I would go urinal 5.
Please, yeah. Taking a picture is so funny, but it's if you are in that situation, I'm not sure if you will really enjoy it.
Oh wow, some people choose war. Chris just goes for war. All right, take a picture of the man whilst he pees. Listen, I'm gonna go through the ethos that I think we should come across here, which is urinal 5. We respect the man. All right, Jamie, this is another a funny one that I like. On your way home, you've taken your picture with Tolly in the bathroom. You're now in your Uber, and your Uber driver starts shitting you XRP. We all know it's an amazing coin. What do you say? Do you agree with him and go like, yeah, boss, and then put your AirPods on and pretend you're on a call? Do you start arguing with him and actually tell him it's a boomer coin, is going to 0 until he eventually cancels your ride because you're being rude? Or do you try to onboard him midway? As he's on the highway, you put in your Soulflare wallet, whatever you use, and you try to onboard him to Solana. Or you actually at the end be like, wait a minute, is he right? Is XRP actually the future? What do we have here? A, B, C, or D? Let's hear the chat again, and we'll choose the 5th answer that comes through.
Yeah,
is it A, B, C, or D? Jamie, what would you do?
Oh, this is tough. I think I'll probably do C, which is to try to onboard him mid-drive. Nothing beats trying to onboard like a naysayer or like a big, competitors kind of guy. That's a different kind of satisfaction that you get, when you actually I will convince some of your biggest naysayers or people who support your competitors more than you do. It's a different kind of joy.
Listen, I think the whole chat agree with you. Like this is a unanimous C. That's crazy.
Thank you. We have a B.
Oh, we have.
But
Yeah.
yes,
I
C
do think
sounds
it's pretty wild because you're asking him to look at his phone, open a wallet mid-drive. Bear in mind, this is mid-drive, but we're gonna go for C and congrats. Okay, guys, this is the final question. Finally. Jemmy, you onboarded the Uber driver. You took a picture with Tolly. You took your grandma's money. You're now home in bed. It was a long day for all of us. You open Telegram as you do, and you realize that the small cap token that you showed to your friends a couple weeks ago, and you're like, this is the future, just rugged. This happens. Some crazy people out there. It was a Pumnut Fund coin. It rugged. What do you do? What's your reaction? Do you
this is
This is a tough one because I don't think there's a right answer. This one. This is like a least of all evils answer. So
yeah.
A, do you tell everyone you heard it was a soft, it was a soft rug, and devs are working on a V2? You blame the market makers, you blame the market itself, the liquidity, anything except yourself. C, you fully dissociate, you mute the chat, you close Telegram, and you book a flight to Bali. Or D, you gaslight the group chat into making them believe that you're the victim here.
This is really tough. This is this is indeed the case of which is the lesser of all evils. Let's see what everybody thinks.
Well, this is the last one, guys. So here, what should we do? We got a few they blame the devs, or like tell us is the V2 coming. That's funny.
Yeah,
No good
I feel like
well.
A and B probably is something that you choose between one of the two lesser evils. Well, D is not cool, I guess, but the Bali is kind of a little bit too much.
Listen, sometimes we can't give you easy answers. Otherwise, everybody will have to go for the. This is like a moral test. You close your eyes and see, for instance, Mo is clear. He'll book a flight to Bali.
Please remind me to never be in the same group chat with that guy. Okay, jokes aside, yes. Well, it seems like there is a couple of Bs coming through. I would probably go with A.
You're gonna go for A, soft. The soft rug is the most just the concept of a soft rug is in itself just craziness. Seriously with gaslight. All right. I'm gonna follow your hunch here. Like we'll tell everybody it's a soft rug. We had a few answers of that as well, and that drum roll makes us the builder. Okay, maybe the V2 was the builder ethos coming. So, what have we learned? We've learned first of all that there's a builder type of object that we're going to release on the 13th of December. There's a fun, and you can do these questions yourself if you haven't done it yet. It's very fun. You can share it on X as well. Everybody will be able to see what you got, and you'll be able to compare what other gods. The builder, we characterize it as the one who suffers so the chat doesn't have to, while the trade you compile. If you actually want to know how this works in the background, for those who are actually in the engineering department and want to try and figure it out, there's actually points associated to each answer, and the combination of all the answers and the sum of the points will give you one of different. So there's points attributed to each type, and there's 6 types of things that we're going to release. So in this case, on average, we collected most points for the builder, and so therefore we have become the builder. Here you can see there's a whitelist rank. There's always more than 500 people in here this today. It's absolutely crazy. So there's 4 people that did this since we started this live stream, because otherwise we would have been the last ones. That's also pretty crazy. You can get further up this list if you do any of these actions and all of them, which is following MONKE DAO if you haven't yet, of course. Follow Nomu as well, because there will be a lot of alpha shared from each one of our accounts, and then share your identity. On top of that, you can get even higher if you share your invite code, which is what people will be able to use to participate in this game, in this quiz, if they haven't got a MONKE Gen 2, Gen 3, or if they haven't got a Nomu OG NFT. In total, if we go back here on X, you see that there's a bunch of different ones. There's a lot of friends here recently. We've got a few other buildings. We've got a degen here. Jesus got the degen one. We remember the source. The source, I can always say that's the rarest one of them all. So if you get the source, that's pretty damn impressive. The builder is quite rare as well, but the source is by far the rarest one. There's another one that's the quant that I haven't seen a lot. The quant is also quite rare. If you call it quant, that means you big brains math. Source, actually, there's a few sources there. Here you go. That's the quant. Who got the quant? Keeper, if you are in the chat watching us, congrats, you got the quant. You are a high mind. Then there's the enjoy as well. The enjoy is there for the vibes, essential to any chat. Without the enjoyers, there would be no Web3. The whole, especially in bear markets, the last few weeks, the whole CT relies on dying breed, which is a fantastic name for the enjoyer because it's a dying breed when the bear market is around. So we can't say much more than this right now. But there is the friend, there's the enjoyer, there is the degen, there is the quant, there is the builder, there is the source. You are, each one of them probably is part of who we are. These are all what we call the different archetypes of monkey. These are all the different possible monkeys that we see on CT. That's where we took inspiration for. We just looked at how people act. And again, it comes back to kind of what I really feel strongly about is that you need in your life, you need someone that's each one of them. You need a degen in your life. You need a source in your life. You need someone that's going to show you the way when you feel lost. You need a friend. Everybody needs a friend. You need more than a friend. You need a Linny in the house. Appreciate you who are, if she's watching us right now. You need a builder. If you don't have builders in your life, nothing gets done. You need a quant as well, who actually can look at your spreadsheet and tell you you're being an idiot. And you need an enjoyer who can actually make you enjoy the wins that you collect along the way. So hopefully each one of them will recognize each other's tribe in here. We're all, I guess, all of us a little bit of each. For instance, I thought I was a builder. I worked out here, for instance, in our last quiz. But this is what we can say right now. So hopefully you can already kind of start imagining, guessing what this could look like. I'm very excited about this. What we can say, maybe, I don't know, you can cut me off here, because I guess like here we're going to start revealing a bunch of things. But we've seen this new meta come about in crypto recently with a first few platforms that have enabled the distribution of RWA, but as consumer goods, not just like this super fancy and complex, buy a 100th piece of a real estate building somewhere in Dubai, actually just tangible real world asset consumer goods. And we've obviously seen Collector Crypt does them very well. Wrecked Drinks is a great example, shout out to them. Flojo is a great example of this, of course. Most recently, Fidgetals. And so what we are trying to do is go into the same direction and push the boundary one step further by, one, bringing a really strong IP into the game, and two, making sure that the community who's part of this and who makes this product a success, so create a desirable product with a desirable IP, and then share that value back to the people that bought it. In none of the other launches that happened so far on Collector Crypt or on, Jamie, you stop me here at any given moment. If you think I'm starting to say too much stuff here, you stop me, okay? But I'm going to show you what right now has been the biggest launch of this kind so far. So you get a bit of a better idea. So a few months ago, Moonbirds was also an IP that's EVM based, historically speaking, and now it's bridging over to Solana. Together with Collector Crypt, they launched what was a mystery, full stop. It was a mystery. We still don't know what it is. If you go today on Magic Eden and you look at the IUU NFTs that represents that item, that product, we still don't know what it is. There's speculation, but they sold $1.7 million of volume worth of this product, which is just incredible. It just showed the amount of appetite there is for crypto to translate into the real world, for you to actually be able to touch something real. This is obviously all that needs to be done, but what we are trying to do together is iterate on this and find a way to bring to life these sort of real world products, but make sure that whatever sales happens through this, in this case, it was $1.7 million worth of sales, actually that it becomes not an extractive exercise where $1.7 million go away from the wallets of users and into the wallets of a project, but rather, as you said earlier, and I'll let you complete this, is $1.7 million, or in our case, we hope to achieve more than that, that goes back into the wallets and and blesses the entire ecosystem, the community, the buyers that made this product a success. If you're an early buyer of whatever MONKE DAO and Nomu will release together, you participate, you buy, you refer, and you're just a Gen 2, Gen 3 holder, you will get a reward from that. And the idea is that we all win together. It's again going back to the ethos that we all believe in. We're in this together. We win as a community. Not everybody needs to win the same thing. That's not what it's all about. It's not about that kind of, it's about equity, not equality. And equity means that we win together as a unit, as a group. And that's very beautiful. So that's the milestone. We're going to try and do bigger than that. And if we do that, that will be the biggest RWAL consumer sale in history, which is pretty wild. That's what we're going for. Not meaning that we're going to do it, but that's what we're going for. That's the ambition. We got to manifest it. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, 100%. I think really one of the biggest piece here is, for us to transcend, continuing to transcend beyond just that digital piece. And for us to, establish that recognizability of that IP. And also at the same time, understanding that MONKE DAO is a very dynamic community, with a very strong, foundational layer of community above anything else. And how do we ensure that, this specific launch, this specific initiative from the get-go is designed such that people and the community can benefit from it instead of just great. If the collection does well, if there are revenue, generated, there are sales coming through, so what? How does the end user, from the very get-go also, can benefit from it? What exactly is required from them? And so that's really, kind of like the key thesis that I'm trying to not go too deep into it. But I think, one thing that we're really excited is, I don't think we will 100% get it right our first shot, but at least the platform that is available out there for us to start experimenting, start to take the bold step forward and say, hey, our commitment is that we'll make sure that the community, our community members are all going to eat well, quite literally, and we are going to eat together.
That deserves a big W in the chat. That's the first time I heard Jamie ever say the Wagyu. So for those who don't know what Wagyu stands for, if all the monkeys are listening to the first time, it's very, very, very simple. So you know how Wag Me was a thing for years, right? Everybody in crypto is going to Wag Me. Then we got 50 million Pump.Tom tokens. And the truth is that we're not going to make it. Not all tokens are going to make it. It's just the hard reality. It's not the case. So at Nomu, we thought Wag Me is probably dead. However, with Nomu and by buying products and you share the upside of those products, we're all going to eat well. And I could not be more excited to share the first meal with MONKE DAO and all the W's in the chat coming through. Jamie, what can people do right now we know this launches in 2 weeks. What's the next step?
Yes. So if you are a MONKE DAO member, especially, take note that the launch event is happening exclusively during Solana Breakpoint on the Beyond the Dunes, during the Beyond the Dunes event, 13th December. Now, if you're not going to be there, that's absolutely not an issue at all. We have a wait list that is ongoing, so be sure to sign up for the wait list, go to the website. And in the meantime, while you are waiting for the launch to be dropped, we have a whole series of a very robust campaign that is going to drop snippets of alpha or a little bit of juice here and there, and basically give you more information as we go along. Now, until then, you can also get yourself engaged by taking the quiz and basically be engaged through trying to discover which profile, which character you resonate with the most. So these are the various ways that you can, get engaged, be involved. And of course, you have Nomu and MONKE DAO handle. Feel free to let us know if you can be helpful in any way.
Hey man, I could not have said any better. The quiz is live right now. If you haven't tried it out, do it. It's super fun. Share it. And what you need to know is that leading up to the 13th of December, as Jamie said, we're going to have amazing more clues. We tried to make this fun. There needs to be, we can't just tell you what it is. What's the fun in this? So hang with us. I really think it's going to be worth it. You're all going to love it. it's a product that's very hard not to love. Like it's gonna be really fun. And until then,
Now, I think one thing that we probably missed out today is that the key ethos, the key ethos of this launch that we're doing is that we want it to be something that is relevant to, of course, the Web3 audience, most importantly, which is why we have a very robust campaign built out. But most importantly, when you tell your friends and family about it, you are not going to be looked at, and they will, well, they will not look at you in a funny manner. They will not think that you are crazy. Finally, you can be involved in something in Web3 that you can hold your heads high up and be super duper proud of. And you know that they are going to love it. Absolutely.
wait,
And
you
I
mean
say this,
you mean I can say to my mom for the first time this Christmas that I don't work in tech or in
you
finance?
can quite literally say that.
Wow,
And the
that's
best
huge.
thing is that if you give them this piece, whatever that may be, there is a genuine platform, a genuine touch point for them to be equally excited about with you, alongside you, and also share the same feelings as you do. That is the key ethos. And if you forget anything and everything, take this away today.
Wow. What to say on top of that? That's the one. Guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We've been close to an hour, which is crazy. We've got over 500 people watching us alone on YouTube. So hello to each one of you. More than 500, 530, and then some YouTube people. That's crazy. So hello to all of you. You should probably be at Thanksgiving thanking your family, but we thank you for being here with us. It is an honor and a privilege. Go have a look at the Test Your Monkey. Be there on the 13th of December, either live in Abu Dhabi or behind your screens. What you got to know is that this will be the first time, at least if I can do it from the Nomu perspective, that you will be able to buy a product and know that if this product succeeds, you will be rewarded with that with real liquid rewards, no points, no nonsense, actual rewards back, a share of the success of the product back into your wallet. And that's thanks to MonkeyDAO and the infrastructure we're building. It's a new way of community-centric e-commerce, bottom-up foundation for new products to come to life. And yeah, so be there on the 13th. It will be good. You get not only a good product, but you also get a really cool story to tell further on. Until then, stay tuned. Go follow Jenny as well if you haven't. Jemmy's one of the funniest accounts I've seen on Twitter. You post some really funny stuff every now and then. So Jemmy, go have a look at him here. And of course, we will share much more alpha through our personal accounts, our main handle accounts. And if you happen to already have a monkey, then go have a look at all these different beautiful meetups. And you also could be one day in one of these pictures.
All right, yes, 100%. Once again, thank you to each and every one of you who took time out, especially on Thanksgiving that is probably undergoing right now with all the celebrations and whatnot, to join us today. Super excited to be able to share this with everyone here, and excited to continue interacting and stay in touch with everyone.
Amazing. Jemmy, thank you so much. Before we say goodbye to everybody here, I'm going to stay on for some Q&A that we always do at the end of the show with the Nomu community, because there'll be some questions that might not be directly related to MonkeyDAO. I say thank you to you, Jemmy, and you will hear from you very, very soon, I guess as soon as tomorrow. And so keep posted, and thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you. See ya.
See you, Jenny. Let me see how we do this. Here we go. I'm going to come back here on the big screen. So guys, that was the legend, the myth, Jemmy. Thank you so much for popping by. Everybody here from Monkey is here for the first time. Thank you as well. We discussed the partnership that we have with MonkeyDAO, with Nomu, the stake that we have in each other. We released a whole bunch of things on the product. So you now know that there's 6 different types of this product, physical product. We've seen a lot of love coming through. We tested the game. Go test it yourself and tell us who you are in the chat, what type of monkey you are. And right now, we're just going to take a couple more minutes, because it's been a long show already today, to just answer any questions you have. This is the moment to do it. Simon, for instance, started us off by saying, Danny, what if we guessed it will be MonkeyDAO in the Nomu website a while ago? Because we did have that up. we said like it could either be Monkey DAO, it could be, I forget who else we said, Donkey Kong. Theo, our dear Theo, will tell you all about the rewards of that. We're currently cooking something up. It'll be nice and fun. I mean, as you can expect, it won't be life-changing for you. Like, it was just a fun thing, but we'll make sure that you get a little something for that, for being right. So Chris says, okay, now let's get real. Let's start the nonsense. Tell me what you want to ask me, Chris. This is it. I can't disclose more alpha, but I hope you guys feel the excitement that I feel and that Jamie and I feel for this. It really, again, it is an experiment. It's the first time. It might not go exactly how you expect, but the best case scenario, the one that we are aiming for, is that we will break the record of collector crypt and Moonbirds a while ago. It will also depend on market conditions, of course. But if we manage to do that, that will represent roughly $2 million GMV, which would be, well, pretty mind-blowing. It is not impossible. We are doing the math diligently. We have the right mechanisms in place. You'll see that the actual user interface, the experience, once you come to the website, is quite special. It's very gamified. Which really, for this first launch, because we are at this bridge of real life and Web3, we still wanted to have this Web3 element that resonates with this kind of degen community, that they can have fun with it. But if you just want to buy this product, you can just buy it as well. And you'll see there's a lot of fun things happening here. So is it mahjong? It is not mahjong. It is not mahjong. It is, I'd say, something more personal. If someone is the source or the quant, will he get a better merch on December 13th? Is the merch related to the role we have? The short answer is no. This is a personality test for you to see who of the monkeys you are, and you reflect for the most. It is not now the idea for you to go farm and try and get the right combination of answers to try and become the source of the quant. It's just fun, and you can see who you are. There's no bad answer. The truth is we are all a little bit of each. We are all a friend. We are all an enjoyer. We are all a degen at some times. So it's a fun way to see which one resonates with you the most. However, what you can do is you can try and get that specific product on December 13th, the one that you resonate with the most. So if you were the quant, you might want to get the quant one because it will be there. But you might have to do some things to get the quant one. And the same thing for the friend, and the same thing for the enjoy. So it's going to be really, really fun. That's how we're going to create a lot of volume as well. So we're really optimizing for that. And the good news is that the more volume we create, the more rewards there will be available for the community. Because we have a take rate, of course, on each volume. And so each cent that comes through this, the pot, so to speak, the rewards pool grows bigger and bigger. And so at the end, everybody gets more, which is really, really cool. That's why we're optimizing for this model as well. So there are 6 different products. Oh God, I feel they're going to kill me. There are 6 different types of the product. Let's keep it at that. Something along those lines here. Yeah. And the 6 types are the ones that you could play and interact with. So the friends, the enjoyer, the builder, the quant, the degen, and the source. Theo hasn't got a question. It's just like we organize well, not just the quant, the source. That's very, very true. Chief Fan Club, thanks, Jamie. Great as always. Thank you so, so much. I'm very excited too. If there's any more questions, this is the moment. If not, Theo is about to take over in French. Oh, we have one more from Simon. Is the whitelist capped? How many people can pre-buy the product? The whitelist is currently not capped. We will cap it if it comes to that. This will be more so because it's a pre-order and the rewards pool grow with the amount of that we sell. And our game here, what you need to try and understand, as now speaking Nomu to Nomu, like how do we make this a huge win for Nomu? It is by making the biggest sale and for Monkey DAO as well, by the way, like both how do we win this together as an IP is by creating the biggest sale that anybody has ever done in Web3. And that right now is $1.7 million. Again, we're starting from pretty much both Monkey and us. We've never done this before. So it's going to be not easy to get that. But if we manage to do it and the market plays with us, it would be incredible. So we're not going to cap the amount of people that can participate because we want to make the biggest amount of sales possible. However, it will be very limited in time. So if you miss the window, it's over. So you got to be there, and it will not be easy to get necessarily the one that you want, which is also, well, I guess some alpha. Chris says, is it to play and interact with? There is some gamification, absolutely, yes. It's going to be really fun. So you're not just going to Amazon and buying a product. There's actually a story. That's why this whole build-up is happening with the videos and the return to origin. All of this comes to play into this story that we're going to release. Thea says, be careful, some are better than the FBI at obtaining it. I need to go for Thanksgiving dinner anyway with Linny. It's not away from us, so I'm gonna not say too much. Shishu just says, wow, indeed, it's gonna be really, really fun. You will try and get one specific monkey, and it's not gonna be super easy to get it, like the monkey. And yeah, you're gonna have to, you'll see. All right, I feel like I'm reaching it. I don't see any new questions coming in. Oh, we do have one more from Simon. Okay, Simon, that's gonna be the last one for today, and the rest Theo will be able to answer for sure. All people have Nomu NFT or Monkey NFT Gen 3 can pre-buy. The answer is yes, but you will anyway be able to pre-buy. It's just that you might get additional rewards if you hold any one of those assets. And as you know, the OG NFT is less about the products that we're going to release with partners like MonkeyDAO, but more about the products that we release in-house ourselves. We are doing the very first product with a partner because you cannot win alone. You need to have really cool, strong partners to grow the pie together with. So MonkeyDAO is the single best example for that. And everything else will come in later. Is it a type of collectible? Because he said it's not easy to get one you want. I have said too much. I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day / evening. Have a great dinner. And thank you for joining us again. Hopefully this open kitchen was fun, entertaining. It's a bit different than normally, but hopefully you got to see the perspective from someone else. You were able to learn more about MonkeyDAO. You got to know the deal that's happening between Monkey and Nomu, how we now strategically aligned over the next decade, really, and how we are planning to do the biggest sale that's ever happened in RWL's consumer goods so far on at least Solana, and I'm pretty sure in crypto, generally speaking. Hell of a journey ahead of us. This is the beginning. What's important for Nomu holders and Nomu communities is that this officially starts the flywheel. When products sell in this MonkeyDAO drop of ours with Nomu, there will be buybacks of the Nomu tokens, which are then issued as rewards to the buyers. And so the whole flywheel of buying pressure coming into Nomu, and Nomu really becoming this universal asset that congregates all the economic activity of the marketplace actually starts happening. So we couldn't be more excited about it. It's like I could not be more bullish on so many fronts, whether it's on the partnership side, on the infrastructure side, the team, the community side. We're growing on all metrics. Like the whole account is going through the roof. We bear market barely even noticed it at Nomu. It's pretty crazy. Everything is just screaming to me like we're doing the right things, and I truly believe at heart it's because we are doing it for the right reasons and with the right hearts in mind and in place. So thank you to all for you coming today. Let's have one last big round of Wagyus in the chat, and I say a big thank you to you. Wagyu indeed to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an hour and 10 minutes, pretty crazy today. Thank you so much, guys. Much love to all of you. And I see you very, very soon in the next one. Bye-bye. We'll let a couple more Wagyus come through here.